Hello everyone, it's DuckFaden07. Today we are playing my favorite version of Izzet Prowess, the one playing Archlight Phoenix. And it's already been some time since I brewed this build. There's already a video on my channel like 2-3 months ago. In the meantime, I built the list in paper, I did great with it, and I tweaked it. And now this is the 75 that I really like. I don't want any more changes. And the thing is that Winternight Stories, this card that I didn't really find home in a lot of decks, and I really liked it. It's working perfect here. It's another discard outlet for Phoenix, which deck desperately needs, and it can work with Phoenix also in the earlier turns. So, for example, you can do turn 3 play Mana Morphose, play Winternight Stories, choose to discard 2, discard Phoenix, and Lava Dart, replay Lava Dart from the graveyard, trigger Phoenix, get it back. So it can be really aggressive even in the early turns, but in the later turns it can give you a lot of card advantage. You can put it in the graveyard with the Channeler ability, then replay it from the graveyard. When you play Channeler, it usually only costs 2 mana to play the Harmonize ability. I think Winternight Stories is truly a great fit in this deck and one of the best decks that can use this. And Phoenix is also, I think, playing Phoenix in this deck is a lot more aggressive than the usual Prowess variants, and it can win out of nowhere, and it can have some crazy turns thanks to the Phoenix. And I really like this one. It's more fun to me to play it, although I do like the regular Prowess as well. Okay, so in the sideboard I got 4 consigns, of course. Into the Floodmouth, this deals with a lot of problematic permanents. Abrades, basically mostly to deal with Shallows of the Void and Snaring Bridge and some other problematic artifacts. And Unholy Heats as additional removal. Rough Tumble, which is better than Pyroclasm for this deck because it doesn't kill your Phoenix. And Brotherhood's End as additional graveyard hate piece and additional board clear against Boros Energy and other decks playing small creatures. Okay, so that's it. Very simple. All 4 offs except for Winternight Stories, and deck is working perfectly. I took it on to the league and it did great. Ended up 4-1, nearly missing a trophy, and something weird happened to me on MTGO. It wasn't a misclick. Somehow accidentally missed a phase and paid dearly for it. Okay, so we will see. It was really close to trophy. I thought I am going to get it, but it didn't, and yeah, so we're going to see that later. Now, before the gameplay, I want to remind you of my dictionary profile. Link is down below in the video description. Okay, as always, we have base tier guides. This is the first one, the base tier, the $10 one. The second one, Zoo tier, holds additional sideboard guides, 3 additional Zoo sideboard guides, plus these large articles on Zoo, as always. And Eldrazi tier, holding the 2 large articles, and inside 4 guides for different builds. Okay, so that is it. We can now go check out the gameplay, see how that went. Okay, so we are ready here. Okay, so game 1 I'm playing against actually Elves, and it was really an easy game because I have the Lava Dart and a bunch of removal in my starting hand. So I was just able to play the Spear, continue attacking. At the same time, my opponent is mana screwed, and I just can massacre their board with my hand, and at the same time I can apply pressure with a Monastery Spear. Okay, so here we can see opponent just taking his time and conceding after some thinking. Okay, so for this matchup, I actually started with 13 cards in my sideboard accidentally. MTGO's import a clip button didn't work properly, so it didn't put all the cards in my sideboard. Never mind. Okay, so I was happy with just boarding these 3 cards here. And Okay, I kept a decent hand. Opponent started with Elvish Mystic. I think I want to kill that immediately. Try to slow them down and work my way until I get that third land to play Brotherhood's End. Okay, my opponent didn't play anything, which was surprising. My hand is so good, like Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt, yeah, a lot of removal, and that's basically all I need in this matchup. My opponent only plays Quirion Ranger. That's not a problem. That's great for my Lava Dart, killing their creatures. Okay, so I find Monastery Sea Spear on top. I pass a turn, hold a bolt, and it's just a great situation. I didn't play against Elves for some time, but yeah, really bad matchup against Prowess, that's for sure. Okay, so I go for a Bolt there, War Master, and I put these two cards. Sorry, I put Phoenix on top, and then I still have 1 mana open. And I get my Phoenix back, I pass the turn, I have Unholy Heat, Brotherhood's End, Lava Tart in my graveyard. It's yeah, bad news for opponent. And here I go, top deck Bolt from the top, so I immediately bolt them face, put down the 6, replay Lava Dart from my graveyard, and almost get the lethal. Opponent has Pet to Exile here, so they live one more turn, but yeah, it's not a good news for opponent, definitely. I replay Faithlessloothing from my graveyard, pass a turn, opponent goes for a Devoted Druid, so only thing they can do here is a chump block, and I have another removal, or I can just play the Phoenix or whatever, so I get the win, and yeah, that is the match one. Very quick wins against Elves. Obviously, Elves not a deck that sees a lot of play, but occasionally you can find it on MTGO. Obviously, a lot of fans out there for the Elves. Okay, so I started with my Dragon Ray Channeler, this time playing against Eldrazi, and opponent has the turn 2 Dot-Not Seer. They, yeah, land full of spells. Let's see what they take. They take my Core Steel Cutter and leave me with Preordain and Faithlessloothing in my hand. That is good news. Okay, so I go for looting. This way I can make my channeler 3/3 immediately on this turn. Okay, so I definitely discarding Phoenix and Lava Dart to get Delirium immediately, and I go for start attacking, so at least I can start attacking. I did not find the land I was looking for, but next turn if I find the land I can go Manamorphose, Preordain, Faithlessloothing, trigger my Phoenix. That looks great. Maybe I can potentially find another Phoenix, but it seems I can't do that because my opponent has Kozilek's Command and just removes a bunch of cards from my graveyard. Okay, so I'm looking for a land, so Bolt goes into the graveyard. And yeah, and again I can put Phoenix in the yard, and again I have Delirium. And I put the land on top. I can continue attacking here, and I'm potentially still in a decent situation. Okay, I continue attacking. My opponent is on 14. Next turn, I have a land. I can go for the Manamorphose, and let's see what else I draw. But yeah, opponent again has a Kozilek's Command, and they again remove Phoenix from my yard. So two good Kozilek's commands there for my opponent. Let's see if I can find anything. So a Manamorphose finds another Morphose from the top. Here is Bolt. I think Bolt is keepable here since it kills the Flash Raker. And yeah. Okay, so I take a 2 red and I just go for a Swiss Spear and kill the Flash Raker. Just try to raise my opponent if possible. Okay, here is Faithlessloothing on the top. I'm thinking about this, and yeah, I kept it on top. Opponent can attack with Totnot there, but I'm hoping I can maybe stay in the game, but opponent here finds the line breaker and finds the kill here on the same turn, so I'll have to do something on the later turns. Okay, so I bring in consigns, although consigns can be double-sworded edge, as they say, because my opponent plays Cavern of Souls in their deck, so sometimes it can be great, sometimes it can be medium. Also, they play Shallots of the Void, so I need those abrades. Okay, so that's it. And we're ready for game 2. Okay, so I go for turn 1 Switch Spear attack. Opponent starts with Temple. I think, yeah, best thing is to just play the cutter here, attack for 2. Next turn I can potentially trigger cutter plus return Phoenix. Sounds like a great turn. Let's see what opponent does. Unfortunately, Wayscape Battle Mage there kills my cutter. Okay, there is Bolt on top. Bolt on top, so I decide to wait with... I decide to leave that on top and trigger my Phoenix next turn. Here only attack for 2. Opponent removes the graveyard and they play the Line Breaker. Let's see if I can maybe find the kill here. Okay, I start off with looting. Will I find another land? Yeah, okay, so there is another land. When I have another land, I can play my Swiss Spear. That is a lot of damage. But I don't have lethal, I think, so I just focus on their creatures and attack with everything, put them down on 5. There is no way opponent can kill me this turn, so they take some time thinking and then concede. Okay, so did I actually have lethal there? Or yeah, maybe I even had lethal there. I didn't, not sure. Okay, so maybe that was lethal there. Did my opponent end up on 5 life? I guess it was lethal then. But yeah. Okay, so I put land from my hand to the bottom and keep actually a medium hand, but it can turn out to be a good hand on the draw. Okay, so I play the bubble, I keep the consign. Unfortunately, they have a Cavern of Souls, so my consigns can be pretty dead with Cavern. Okay, so a Line Breaker is pretty good, strong, so I have to focus on killing that. Okay, so what I wanted to do here is counter their Written Chrysalis ability and next turn use Brotherhood's End to kill both of their creatures. Now my opponent is only on 1 card in hand, so killing both their creatures in this moment seems great. Okay, so I can now go start producing a good board state and time for me to start attacking. So I have Channeler and Core Steel Cutter on the field. And now in these moments Consign can be useful because it can counter stuff like a Kozilek's command. Okay, so I find a Mana Morphose, another Mana Morphose from the top. I go for it again. And yeah, put land, surveil some more, draw another card with the Mana Morphose. Here is another consign. I don't really need another consign, but it is what it is. Okay, so I keep a Braid on top, which is another removal, and I attack here for a lot of damage. Let's see what happens. Their opponent goes for Mycospawn. I can't counter the creature, but I can counter them finding a land. So I also get to surveil with... I also get a surveil from Dragonite Channeler and I play my second consign to get my Monk token and I leave a Braid on top to kill Sowing Mycospawn and just go in for lethal. That's it. Okay, so I have a lot of damage here. I got my token on their turn and that is another easy win against Eldrazi. I think this deck has a really good Eldrazi matchup. Okay, so I start here with Channeler. And I went for a bubble, leaving second land on top. That is exactly what I need here. Okay, if I draw, this can lead to some crazy turns if I draw like Manamorphose. Manamorphose is one of the best cards in this build. Okay, so I go for looting and I discard Phoenix and land. So next turn, if I draw a land, I can go Manamorphose, Winternight Stories, maybe find Lava Dart, discard Dart, get back Phoenix. Manamorphose always leads to best turns. Okay, so I want to start with Manamorphose here. Okay, I get 2 red. I get 2 red and I find a land. This is what I was talking about. So I go for Winternight Stories, hoping to find Lava Dart. I did not find a Dart, but that's okay. I'm still getting a lot of cards here to continue pressuring my opponent. Opponent goes for Felia, Surveils, puts Aven Interrupter in their graveyard, and they don't have, luckily they don't have Overlord, so they just attack here with Felia, Blink, Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp is mostly very easy for me to deal with. I can kill them with Lava Dart. Okay, opponent Surveil some more. They have 1 card in their hand at the moment. I start with Manamorphose, and here I find a Channeler, so I play the Channeler. And another Preordain. And here is the big fail. What I wanted to do when I saw this, I knew they were like lethal. And what I actually wanted to do is put Lava Dart on top and then Phoenix below it. Then Lava Dart kill their Flicker Wisp, graveyard my Phoenix, but I somehow messed that up and I accidentally, or I didn't, okay, I didn't, that was the other time, okay, sorry. I definitely messed that up once in this league, and but here I didn't mess it up, and I got my Phoenixes back, and this is a lot of damage, and I have lethal here on the same turn. That was a cool kill there. Okay, so sideboarding time. As I said, I played this entire league with 13 cards in my sideboard, and yeah, I decided for this matchup. On the play I did not do any changes. I just started game 2 with the same 60. Okay, so I think this hand is decent. 2 Core Steel Cutters is a great tool to win this matchup. I am looking for a Mishra Bubble at this point and I find it with my Preordain. That is great news. So I can start turn 2 a Core Steel Cutter and Mishra Bubble start making tokens. Sounds great. There is another Mishra Bubble for a next turn. Looks good. Okay, so definitely I think Core Steel Cutter is among cards that is the biggest problem for my opponent to deal with. And they have Emperor of the Bones, they play Flicker Wisp kills my token. That's all fine, not very strong plays by opponent there. Here I go for a Mishra Bubble, look at their top, attack with both of my creatures and continue the pressure. So they will need to find a removal for the cutters, maybe Wraith of the Skies or a Witch Enchanter, but so far so good. Opponent plays another Flicker Wisp, just surveils again, and they have 2 blockers, but these are not great blockers when playing against Lava Dart deck. Okay, so I go for a Preordain. Obviously I'm trying to dig for my lands. Okay, so no lands still. I play Mishra Bubble, trigger Monk tokens again, and I decide to go for a Faithless Looting. I'm gambling here to find a land, and I did find it. That was great, and yeah, now when I did find a looting, that was so amazing. I put 2 darts in the graveyard, flashback both of them, kill both Flicker Wisps, and I can also just bolt them face and finish this off immediately. So much damage on the field. There's like 26 damage with my Monk tokens, and yeah, opponent concedes. That is a match against Orzo Blink. Okay, so let's go check out the match 4. Already 3-0 in such a short time. This deck can really do some quick games. Okay, playing against Eldrazi again, that is a great news for me. Eldrazi is a good matchup. They start off with Eldrazi Temple. I go for Preordained, try to find another land. And I did find a land, it was a tap land, but yeah, it was okay. I find a survey land, and with that one I find my land number 3. That was all great, but opponent has Dismember, unfortunately kills my Dragon Ray Channeler. But here I go, find my third land, I go double Switch Spear, bolt them face and just start attacking. So Phoenix in my hand, sometimes you can just hardcast Phoenix for 4 mana and it can win you games just to do this. I can't double spell here, but I can play my cutter just to pump the Swiss Spears and continue pressuring opponent. Also I'm close to hardcasting the Phoenix. Opponent here has all its dust. And I put Phoenix in the yard and decide to play my Core Steel Cutter immediately. Maybe it was better to keep it in hand. And here I just put it on the field so they can kill it with Devourer. But Faithless Looting in the yard gives me Bolt. And now Bolt and Lava Dart actually give me lethal damage next turn. They kill my land, that's not really important, so I can just... Here is another bolt on the top. Okay, so I just play Bolt Face and Flashback Lava Dart for lethal, and that is, I find lethal there in game 2. Okay, so time for sideboarding. I only want my consigns. I don't think I need anything else. Removing some of the slower cards. I want to be as fast as possible in this matchup. I keep a medium hand, nothing crazy. But opponent starts with Expedition map. I pass a turn holding a consign. Okay, so I played this one a bit slowly. I'm trying to find a creature here, looking for a creature with a bubble, then going for a surveil, keeping consign. Opponent finds a forest and then goes for sowing microspawn. I can't replicate, but I can find counter the main trigger. Okay, so I go for Mana Morphose. And here is another Mana Morphose. I'm hoping to find some playables. And here is a Phoenix. And I go for another Faithless Looting. And here is another Phoenix in the yard. I did not want to use a Bolt here to go face here. I already played 3 spells. So I will get my Phoenixes back. Attack for 6. And I can keep Morphose and Bolt for next turn if needed. Okay, now my opponent goes for sowing Microspawn again. I don't care about the creatures that much, I only care about their land finding ability. And yeah, here I go. Dragon Rage Channeler, I go for Mana Morphose, Graveyard the land. Take 2 mana and I can again dig, maybe. Here is looting on the top, going for another bubble, digging so much here, and I can't play looting this turn. I decide to go for a bolt, a face, and do another surveil, keep a Core Steel Cutter on top. Maybe I should have digged more and not keep the Core Steel Cutter. Yeah, I don't think Core Steel Cutter was the greatest to keep here. Maybe I could find something better. Okay, on their turn, opponent goes for sowing Microspawn again. Now they find their full Tron and they have 7 mana. So they go Kozilek Command, digging for answers, but they don't have answers here. I have 3 flyers, each giving me 3 damage, and opponent can't find a solution for that. They needed something like Sire of 7 Deaths to survive, or something similar to that. They didn't find and they concede, so that is match 4. And let's check out trophy match 5 of this league. So only need to win 1 more. Okay, Game 1 I start with a channeler and a bubble, great start, put a lava dart in my graveyard and look at their top with bubble, they have a Kozilek's command. But they probably can kill my channeler next turn, and I have a decent hand here, starting with a turn with the mana morphos, always great. I can maybe save it for a turn 3. I can go morphos, Winternight Stories, and then try to dig for Phoenix. But I decide to go for morphos immediately. Lightning Bolt is pretty good, but I'm looking for maybe it wasn't necessary to use this second mana morphos here, but I did use it and I get the Swiss Spear, so it ended up pretty solid for me. I surveil another land to the yard, 2 lava darts in my hand, and I can now attack and need to discard 2. I think I'm discarding 1 land and probably 1 lava dart or Winternight Story. Yeah, I think Winternight Stories discarding is good as well, because next turn I can play a channeler plus harmonize Winternight Stories, draw me 3 cards. That is looking pretty good. But yeah, they have Blade now on the field, and if they play the Brood Scale, it will probably be necessary for me to kill the Brood Scale. Okay, so yeah, my plan changes with this play they made. So I go for Dragon Rage Channeler, and I can actually play the Winternight Stories and then replay the Lava Darts from the graveyard if necessary. But I think at this point I just decided to go for Lava Dart, and opponent tries to save their Brood Scale, but I have 1 more Lava Dart and I have to sacrifice my land, but that is fine. I do a lot of damage here and more surveilling, so great situation. Another land goes to the graveyard and I'm attacking for a lot of damage, put my opponent down to 7. And I have Lava Dart, still 2, no sorry, is it 2 or 1 Lava Darts in my graveyard. Opponent plays a land, and here I have another Core Steel Cutter plus Lava Dart from the graveyard to trigger the Core Steel Cutter, and that is even more damage. So yeah, I go for Lava Dart from the graveyard and my opponent concedes. That is the game. Okay, so good start in the trophy match, won game 1. So only need to win 1 more game to get that trophy, playing against Golgari Brood Scale. Okay, so again consigns a crucial card in so many matchups. Opponent starts with Eldrazi Temple and Blade. That is a pretty good start. I go for turn 1 Channeler, and the opponent goes for a Rumble. I think I'm okay here, just maybe I could go like Swiss Spear, Preordain, but I decided to go for Swiss Spear, hold Consign. Not sure which was better. It's still not like a late turn where I expect my opponent to do some big spells, but I did counter the Glaring Flash Raker here. Glaring Flash Raker can really make them a bunch of mana and is their alternative win condition. And if they have Brood Scale, they already have Blade on the field. They can find a kill with the Flash Shaker immediately. Okay, so opponent here sacrifices the land, and they play Ballista here just to kill my Dragon Rage Channeler while it's without Delirium. Okay, so I go for another land. I go for Mana Morphos. Take 1 blue, 1 red, and here I actually decide to play Brotherhood's End, kill the Blade of the Blood Chief and attack for 2. Next turn I'm untapping with Preordain, so have stuff to do. We are both really low on cards. Unfortunately, another land from the top. I surveil Lava Dart in the graveyard, Preordain, and find the bolt to get rid of this Basking Brood Scale. Both players in top deck mode, they go for Glaring Flesh Raker. And yeah, here it is. Core Steel Cutter from the top, finally something good I can use. Many lands from the top already. Okay, so I killed their Eldrazi Scion and just continue attacking with Core Steel Cutter. They will now be on 9 life and I'm on 14, so I am in advantage at the moment. That can always change, of course, and here we can see opponent finding Here I Might. That was great find here, getting rid of my Core Steel Cutter. And here I go for faithlessloothing. And I think I want to keep a braid here, get rid of this Flesh Raker. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe like Channeler was better find, better keep, just try to be aggressive instead of killing their threat. And opponent unfortunately finds a Sephiroth. That was a good find from the top. And here I am with the consign. Consign, it's not looking as a great top deck at the moment, but it does deal with a lot of their cards, and they find Kozilek command from the top, so that ended up being a great top deck for me here, just getting rid of Kozilek's command, and it will do a lot of damage with Sephiroth, maybe even kill me. Okay, so I go for Fiery Islet, finding Preordain, doing some prowess triggers. Unfortunately, not again, just not getting cards I need from the top. And I bottomed the Phoenix, and just to find another consign to memory from the top. Not exactly the card I wanted here. Okay, opponent unearths the Flesh Raker and goes for Thief of Existence. I can now consign both of their triggers, both the Flesh Raker and Thief ability. So counter that, and my opponent is still in advantage, and they put me down on 3 life. But I am decently positioned here. I still have faithlessloothing in my graveyard. So my plan was, they are on 0 card in hand. So my plan was to block the Flesh Raker and then upgrade the Sephiroth, and something very weird happened. So I went okay to blockers phase, and not sure, did I misclick here? Did I do something? I wanted to block the Flesh Raker, then upgrade the Sephiroth, but it skipped phase. I'm not sure if I misclicked or something else happened, but I probably misclicked, and I just lost the game there on the spot, where I had another turn, another top deck, and looting in my graveyard, and opponent was on 0 cards in my hand. Okay, so but game 3, here I am in a very good hand, doing turn 1 Surveil, and I'm keeping faithlessloothing on top. I'm preparing for a very strong turn 3, and I go for turn 1 Core Steel Cutter, attacking. That is great start, as good as it gets. Opponent has turn 1 Fatal Push. I'll crack the bubble. On their upkeep, see the top of their library is Malevolent Rumble. And opponent, this turn they play Eldrazi Temple and Boseiju my Cutter. Okay, that is potentially not bad for me. I can still go for... I can still triple spell here, so looks good. Okay, I also find another land here. I go for a faithlessloothing, discard Phoenix, and bolt them phase, get back my Phoenix and hold consign for their turn. It still looks pretty good for me. Okay, so opponent is already down on 11. I was thinking about consigning the Saga trigger, but decided not to do it. And opponent goes for a Rumble. Maybe consigning the Saga trigger was good, but I decided to wait with it. Opponent goes for a Flesh Raker, and I decide to let that happen too. Just kill the Flesh Raker and hold this consign in my hand for the later turn. I'm still attacking with Phoenix. Okay, so opponent now on 8 life. I have looting and consign to memory in my hand, also another looting in the graveyard. Opponent attempts to go for Kozilek's command on my upkeep. I have my consign, so it seems like my opponent is going down on 5, and maybe this looting was unnecessary here, but I wanted to put them down on 3, so my Archlight Phoenix is lethal next turn. My opponent is down on 3 life, and I'm very close to getting the lethal here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so opponent takes mana with Saga, finds Blade of the Blood Chief, and maybe finds probably the best thing they could have here, which is Emrakul from the top, exactly the mana to cast Emrakul. That they had 7 mana there. I find Consign to Memory from the top, and I'm still just super close getting lethal here, and my opponent plays my Faithless. This is their turn, they're controlling my turn. So they didn't do much, they just used Faithless Looting from my graveyard, and they did discard Mana Morphose and another Swiss Spear from the top, which would win me the game. And they killed my Phoenix. Unfortunately, that Mana Morphose would be so good from top. Okay, so I think this turn I don't have a kill. I don't want to risk it with looting, so I will only play the Channeler and hold the turn, hold the consign and see what happens. Okay, so I can't counter the Brute Scale because they played it with Cavern. Unfortunately, again, my opponent has a Cavern. So now, but I can do a lot of stuff with Consign. My opponent uses the Brute Scale ability. And I decide to consign this trigger, not let them make Eldrazi Scion. And this way I get the Surveil, and I have looting in the yard. I'm very close to getting the kill, and yeah, this trigger, Surveil trigger, means a lot. Okay, so time to top deck for, I have 3 top decks for a trophy there. Only need like any removal to kill a Brute Scale. Actually not, I can play looting, and if looting finds me a removal, I can get the win. And yeah, Brotherhood's End is not what I need at the moment. Definitely, so I went for a Faithless Looting, Surveil another land to the yard. Unfortunately, 3 more cards I can't use this turn. So what I can do is just hope they don't have anything in their hand and pass a turn. Pass a turn here and just sacrifice my Channeler, hope to block with Swiss Spear and bolt them, but opponent has Ballista in hand, so they do infinite mana with Brute Scale and find a kill, so that's it. Okay, so that is the entire league. I was just so super close to trophy in this one. In game 2, something weird happened, not sure if I misclicked or something else. In game 3, my opponent survived on 3 life. I had 3 top decks to try to find lethal. It didn't happen, didn't help. So that was it. A very cool, exciting league, quick league with Prowess as always, even quicker when playing this Phoenix version. And I'm kind of sad that nobody plays this Phoenix build. I'm already like 3 months out there. I did post on X about it multiple times. It didn't really catch up. I didn't really see people, but I think it is at least as strong as the regular Prowess build. Of course, this version don't have the birds and mutagenic growth, but it has the Phoenix, it has Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting is an amazing card with Core Steel Cutter. It always lets you find that double spell in the later turns. It's great with Phoenix, it's great with Channeler, finding easy Delirium. It's always just so super easy to find it. And Mana Morphose is just another card I love so much in Prowess, and this version supported, it's one of the most important cards and I love it. And that's it. Sideboard is good, main board is good. I think more people should try out this build. I think there is a lot of potential to it. And that's it all for today. Hope you liked the list, hope you liked the gameplay. Friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe, comment down below in the video, and thank you for watching, and goodbye.